Hi, everyone. Welcome to Friday Night Live number 34. And this is my guest. Her name is AJ with AJ's Personal Touch.
Hi, everybody. How you doing tonight?
Sorry about the delay, but we had to get some stuff situated, but we got it all worked out. And if you are watching on replay, please leave me a comment and let me know that you watched on replay. And feel free to answer any of the questions that we ask in the comment section. And I want to welcome in Robin of Roaming with Rover and Vanessa and Lady Crafters Fiber Creations, aka Mary. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. What are y'all currently working on and how are y'all doing? We also have Kivia. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. And Susan. Hi, Susan. How are you tonight?
This is not letting me mute this.
I bet if you turn there's a volume up and a volume down on the side, you could probably turn it down that way.
I turned it all the way down, but I can still hear you. But there we go. I did the side. I did both on the page and on the phone. So.
That's how she's able to see the comments because she can't see them on the. You're on a laptop, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
At least I'm hoping to be able. I haven't seen him yet. So.
Robin is working on her temperature blanket finally, she says. Susan
Awesome.
is doing good. And we got Melanie here. Hi, Melanie.
Welcome, everybody. I'm trying to work on a baby cocoon. I literally just put it on the hook. So.
Hi, Suze. Welcome in. So what is everyone currently working on? I almost finished my aunt's blanket.
I can't wait until you're done. That looks so good.
I figured it up. I've been working on it 3 weeks. I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 3. It's almost 3 weeks, so I'm happy to get it done. Then I can ship it out to my aunt.
There we go. Got the live chat up and going.
Susan is trying to finish her Bag O' Day Tree of Life scarf. I bet that's going to be pretty.
Oh, that's got to be gorgeous.
Yep. Kiva, or Kiwi, how do you say your name? Break it down for me, please, so I don't say it wrong. She says she's taking a break from crochet.
Come on. You might see my sidekick pop in here for a minute or two.
I can hear her meowing. Kivia. Okay, I got it. Thank you so much, Kivia. Aw. And you said that one is Klua.
Yeah.
Aw. Just looks just like my Oreo.
Yeah, we were trying to think of a name.
CB. Welcome in.
Trying to think of a name for her.
CB. Do what?
We were trying to think of a name for her, and it was at the time that my daughter was just starting to get at the age where she thought, she was starting to drink just a tiny bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want, I was like, okay, because she was thinking of all these other names, and I said Kahlua because I'm like, that's not something you're going to drink all the time. It also happens to be my favorite drink is Kahlua and cream, so, and it works perfect because she's black and white.
Mary says, I'm still a little sore from falling face first into Ice Wednesday. I'm currently working on Spring's Pineapple on the Boardwalk shawl. I hope you feel a little better, Mary. I remember you saying that. Warren says, "Hi, Crystal and AJ. Learning about crocheting with number 3 cotton thread. It's different than acrylic. It sure is."
It can make some beautiful things, though, once you learn how to work with it.
Yes, it can. You're braver than I am, Warren, because I don't use crochet thread. The smallest I go is a one weight or even a lace weight yarn. Lace weight's almost as fine as crochet thread.
There's actually some of the thicker crochet threads that are a little bit thicker than a 1, which I think the 3 might be a little bit thicker than a 1 of yarn. I know I used that to make it was kind of like a doily. It was done filet crochet for my grandma. Unfortunately, after she passed away, it got lost, but it was an angel. It was gorgeous, but I need to try again.
Mm-hmm. Sue says, "Working on a poncho and ran out of the yarn. Had one more square, 18 by 18. Have to wait. Michaels are out of it. Darn it." Oh, no. I hate when that happens, when you only need, one more of something and you run out of yarn. Well, I've already started planning my amigurumi chicken. I've gotten the yarn out. That's as far as I've gotten. I've been thinking for the last 2 months, I want to do an amigurumi chicken. And I just been kind of like, well, how would I do this? How would I start the body? How would I do the head?
Do you make amigurumi often? Have you designed others?
Oh yeah, I've done these 2.
Oh, that's right. I've seen those.
My first one, this one's Pink Ski.
I love that.
I do too. He's all she. I always call it a he, but she's always on the back of the couch. And then my newest little one is the dog, Sleepy Mr. Pup.
Cool. Actually, he almost looks like a German Shepherd. I'm looking for a German Shepherd amigurumi pattern for a friend. Her son just got out of the hospital. He'd been in a really bad car accident. He wasn't supposed to make it, but 4 weeks later, he's home. And
oh, that's good.
His favorite animal is their German Shepherd, so I wanted to make him an amigurumi, and it's been the hardest thing trying to find a decent-looking German Shepherd amigurumi pattern that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. So
Warren actually said, "I may try that, Crystal, if it is a bit more forgiving. Fine weight yarn, I mean." So I guess he's using a little bit different than what I thought. Melanie says, "Yay, amigurumi chicken. I can't wait." Yep, when I read your comment, Melanie, I was like, okay, 3 people told me yes on an amigurumi chicken. I was like, okay, chicken, you got it. Oh, Robin, I think you'd be able to do it one day.
I never thought I could do amigurumi, but now it's my favorite thing to do.
Mine too. That and shawls.
That's like
Mary's. Go ahead.
Once I'm done with this cocoon, I plan on making a lovey, but I didn't want to make a regular lovey where you just have the head. And I've seen where I'm not going to think of her name. She loves purple. Anyway, Um, she does the loveys where you take the tie animals
Mm-hmm.
and you make the lovey by using a hair tie, and then you can put it around, like
Yeah.
a Beanie Baby or something. Well, I looked all over for a Beanie Baby dinosaur, and I could not find one. And so I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and make a Triceratops and amigurumi and make one of those and put it over it. So the whole thing will still be homemade, but he'll be able to play with the animal when he gets older, and they can take the lovey off. Plus, they can throw the lovey in the wash whenever they need to without worrying, is it going to mess up the animal too. So,
Yeah. We have Hooked by Duneen here. Welcome in. My voice kind of cracked there. Welcome in. um, Mary says if she has used crochet thread, she used a size 10. And she also says, if you need testers, Crystal, please let me know. I would be happy to help. Thank you so much, Mary. She was one of my testers for Sleepy Mr. Pup, and she made 2 of them, and I think you did a fantastic job being at your first test pattern, Mary. And Hooked by Sue says, I've made one and just used a stuffed toy in the lovey. That's what I did too. And also, thank you, Mary, for dropping AJ's link.
yes, thank you very much.
Hi, Samantha. Welcome in. How are you doing, and what you currently working on?
Yeah, I went on Amazon looking too. Evidently, I mean, I found a couple, but stuffed dinosaurs are a little bit harder to find for whatever reason. And if you do find them, they're huge.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need a little one, not this big, huge, animal that's going to be bigger than the baby. So,
It might just scare the kid instead of it be a comfort if it was too big.
I'm like 5-6 inch range, because I think the smallest I found was 10 inches, and I almost bought that one, and I was like, no, it still needs to be smaller.
Yeah. Mary says, thank you. I was surprised that they were 2 different sizes, but same weight of yarn. Now, too, another thing, if you maybe the reason they were 2 different sizes, maybe the tension was a little tighter in one than the other, or you stuffed one more than the other. I have noticed, like when I made a pink ski, I've made pink ski 3 different times for my aunt, and it seemed the belly came out more fuller than my pink ski, and that's because I stuffed it more than meaning to, so it made it look a little bigger. But I
Yeah.
still think you did great. Melanie says, I used a number 10 also. I want to try to do amigurumi with, oh, you're brave, Melanie. I would not do amigurumi with crochet thread at all. That would take so long. My grandmother says she would.
One of my favorite amigurumi artists that I make a lot of her creations, she uses the teeny tiny, but she triples it.
Mm,
So, and they
I
just
didn't
all
think of
come
doing
out so
that.
nice and precise. She
Yeah.
uses the tiny and makes it into like a DK weight size, which is what she tells us to use if we can't, get the thread. So,
Yeah. Well, that's kind of cool. Mary says, you have more guts than I do, Melanie. I wouldn't even try it. you, Same here, Melanie. I wouldn't even try it with crochet thread. When you do, send me a picture of the amigurumi. Oh, Melanie, how's the shawl coming along you were working on? The roundabout ruffle. She is doing one of my patterns and in a solid pink color, and it's just beautiful. I've made 3 different versions of that, and it's all been variegated yarns or different colors, and seeing it worked up in a solid color is pretty, very, very pretty.
Yeah, I looked up your shawl, and I'm gonna have to get it one of these days to make it. I'm looking for a bridal shawl right now because my nephew's getting married, and I told his wife to be that I'd make her a shawl for the wedding day.
Aww. All right, I'm going to go ahead and ask a question. Let's see, which one do I want to ask? What is a topic you can talk about for hours?
The easy one, crochet.
Well, besides crochet or yarn.
My daughter.
I don't know if y'all heard my grandmother from the background. She goes, "You, Doctor Who," and that was actually my answer I wrote down. I am a big Doctor Who fan, and I've seen most of the reboot episodes, and I can just go on and on and on.
For me, if it's a TV show, it would be Outlander.
I have not
Which
actually seen that show yet.
they're getting ready for the next season, and I am just so excited. Finally, we've waited the whole pandemic for another season.
Susan says Harry Potter movies. Yeah, those are good too.
I've yet to see all of them. I've seen most of them.
Hi, Lisa the Grammy. Welcome in. She goes, "Hello, everyone. Doctor Who is the best." I knew she was a Doctor Who fan. I have a couple of my subscribers that like Doctor Who too. So, who's your favorite Doctor, Lisa? Out of all of them, I guess mine would be Matt Smith, the 11th Doctor, and then right after Matt Smith would be the 10th, then the 12th, and then probably some of the older Doctors. Hey, Amanda, Tap Mama 73 in the Beg Brigade. Welcome in. How are you doing? What are you currently working on? Warren says semi-truck driving, 20 plus years on the road. Oh, wow. So you're a truck driver.
Awesome. My uncle used to drive truck.
Bless her heart. Amanda says, "I'm good. Been working on my scrap blanket. Are you crocheting it or are you doing the loom? Since I know you started crocheting now." Well, would you like to tell everybody what you do on your channel and everything?
Okay. Um, as Crystal said, my name is sorry, got me right when I got something stuck in my throat. My name is AJ. Actually, my full long name that most people can't say is Anjanette. So um, I did well with it in school till I got to my freshman year, and my algebra teacher was like, "I can't say that. You are now AJ." So that's how I got my nickname. Um, it's just a channel. Basically, I talk about my crochet and my makes, but I talk about me and my health. I just talk about everything. So I have a chronic illness, and there's actually quite a few of us crocheters out here who do, and our way to manage it is to crochet. Um, and right now I'm trying to make a business out of it as well because I can't work doing anything else. So I might as well do, what I love. I was a massage therapist and loved that. I loved getting up every day to go to work because I loved it so much. So I might as well do my second love, which is crochet. So, and it's funny because I used to make crochet for my clients for Christmas gifts. And then you'll see my sidekick here pop up a lot. Oh, baby. She is very jealous. As soon as I start talking, she feels that I need to be talking to her. She's acting like she's going to want to snuggle here in a second. But yeah, the general, I do my unboxings. Like I just unboxed my knit crate and my mystery Valentine yarn. Then, yeah, I talk about what's going on at the time. So it's just whatever's going on.
Okay.
It's just me. I'm just me. My channel's just me. Excuse her. Come on, baby. Sit down.
Lisa the Grammy says the old one is the Fourth Doctor is her favorite, Tom Baker, and the new one is David Tennant. Yeah, I've seen the first, second, fourth, and some of the Fifth Doctor's episodes. I've mostly watched the reboot, though.
I keep on wanting to watch Doctor Who, and I haven't done it yet. It's like one of them on the top of my list. There's just so much out there to watch.
Start with David Tennant and Matt Smith's era, and you'll be hooked. They are the best doctors in the reboot. The Ninth Doctor was okay. He had his good moments, and the 12th Doctor had to grow on me. At first, I didn't really care for him, but by the end of his third season, I cried when he left. So,
well, I will have to, if I start, say, okay, tell me where to start. If it's not supposed to be with episode 1, then tell me where to start. One other thing I do talk about on my channel that I forgot is I am a new tech editor. I just finished class and I edited a couple patterns already, and I love it. And so, I try to help out when I can when people have questions about, different things. And, I had to explain what a tech editor was and all of that. So, yeah, I like talking about that as well. I couldn't tell anybody for the longest time while I was editing it, but my first real pattern to tech edit was a garment, and not only was it a garment, but it was an extra hard one. And it literally took me 2 months to get through back and forth with the designer with all the math.
wow.
So, but it came out. It's so gorgeous. If you know Flospis, Susan Baye is her name. She's from the UK. It's this sweater that is regular sweater on one side, and then on the other, it's like this lace with baubles. So you have to wear something underneath it, but it's just gorgeous. Yeah. And now she came out with a version that's the whole lace and baubles for the whole entire sweater. So, yeah.
We have Lorley in, so welcome in. She says, "Hey, Crystal and AJ, how are you doing, Lorley? And what are you working on?" And Sue says, "I have an auntie, and her name is Jeanette. Part of your name."
Yeah, I get that a lot. Aunt Jeanette is kind of uncommon, not as uncommon as I used to think it was. When Facebook happened and the first time I typed my name in there, it was like all of these popped up, and I was like, wow, there's more of us out there. I'm actually one of 3 from South Bend, Indiana, which was surprising. I went to school with one, and then I was in ballet class with another. I guess my mom got my name from a French actress. So evidently other people saw her too, or whatever. Because when I try to look up the origin of my name, there is none. Every time they have all those name games, or whatever, I usually get a sorry, can't find it. Or they'll tell me what the origin of Jeanette is, or, names that are close to it. But for my actual name, I can't ever find anything.
Oh.
So Samantha asked, and I think it was to me, how long I've been crocheting. Sorry, I forgot about my alarm on my phone. I have been crocheting for over 40 years. So I started in grade school. I want to say like 3rd grade for 4-H. So fell in love with it, and I've been doing it ever since.
I've been crocheting officially this time since 2019, knitting since 2020.
Yeah, I haven't tried the knitting yet.
Mama's been doing it 66 years.
But I love Tunisian, so I have taken up Tunisian as well. So I'm still new at it, but I love it. If you guys can't see, has decided to sit here with us and join in.
Oh, this is such a
cutie. Moving around.
Amanda says, "Well, I started with a bunch of loom knitted panels. Then I crocheted them together. Now I'm crocheting more on it to make it bigger and more squared off." That is awesome, Amanda. And Laura Lee is cast on a shawl, so she's knitting a shawl. What yarn weight are you using, Laura Lee? And Vanessa is back. Welcome back, Vanessa. How are you doing? She goes, "Hello, ladies. Good afternoon."
Hi, everybody.
And Hooked by Suze is saying ANNJENNETTE. Is that correct? And it's
no.
I can't even remember how you spell it.
Actually, it's ANJONETTE. So it's not like Anne and Jeanette, like how you have it. It's just all one word, Anne Jeanette.
It's okay, Robin. I know you're on duty 24/7, so if you gotta go, you gotta go. I understand.
And the funny thing that we laugh about is my name is Anjanette Marie, and that my maiden name was Cornelis, which is Belgian. But when I met my husband, I became Anjanette Marie Pizan. So or it should be Pizan. So my whole entire name now is French because my husband is French. So, or a descendant of French. He's completely American, but
yeah,
he's descendant of French. So it's kind of funny. I have a whole French name now.
Let's see. Did you ask a question yet?
No, I have not. Okay. Now, Crystal sent me some questions, in case I didn't have any of my own. And I just have to ask. I told her I was going to do this last night. The question she sent me to ask was, how do you answer the phone when you answer the phone? My question is, how many of you actually talk on the phone to answer the phone? Because most people, like my daughter, all she does is text. And whenever I try to get somebody on the phone, like when I asked Crystal if she wanted to talk for a couple minutes last night because I had some suggestions for her headache, she was like, "Oh, sure." And that was like amazing to me because almost everybody is like, "Well, let's text."
Yeah.
I can hardly ever get anybody, to actually talk on the phone. So I'm always interested. How many people actually talk on the phone besides for work?
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'll talk to Connie on the phone, but most of the time we chat on Messenger. And then only other time I talk on the phone is if my mom calls from the backyard needing something, or she comes to the door, or if my grandmother calls from in town. Everybody else is them. So, but I'm kind of old school that way. I grew up talking on a phone to friends. So,
Jennifer, you almost spelled my name right. After the J, it's an O and not an A, but it could be a variation of Antoinette. It could be a variation of Jeanette. It could be a variation of any of them with the at the end.
Laura Lee is using Premier Everyday Anti-Pilling DK. That kind of rhymed, but I bet. Okay, so you're not using a real lightweight yarn for a shawl. I bet that'd be easier. Is there any designs in it, like lace designs, like yarn overs and stuff? That's where I messed up on my pink shawl.
Oh, Tap Mama, I completely agree when it comes to the telemarketers. I'm actually kind of sad. I've had Sprint on my phone forever, and when T-Mobile took over, my phone was so messed up, so we had to go with another company. And both Sprint and T-Mobile had free spam programs that were like amazing. You would just get a thing that says spam call, and you knew that you wouldn't have to answer it, or could be spam call. And I don't know how they could tell the difference between if it was or if it was possible. So, on the could be, I would usually answer those, but I don't have that anymore. And now, I mean, even without it, I was getting a couple spam calls a day, and now I'm back to getting like at least 10 spam calls a day. And it's just like, leave me alone. My husband just won't answer the phone if it's somebody he doesn't know. But the problem with that is, especially when you're like me and you have so many medical issues, is you get so many calls from the hospital and stuff. And a lot of those come up as, no known caller, so I have to answer the phone. He's like, well, if it's important, they'll leave a message. But unfortunately, some places, they don't take the time to leave a message.
Yeah, that is true.
My daughter, who only texts, if we happen to call her, she knows it's an emergency. I get a call like lickety split right back. What's going on?
Let's see. Welcome in, Jennifer and Gabby. How are y'all tonight? And what are y'all working on? Samantha don't talk on the phone, so she says a no. And Laura Lee says pretty much talk on a phone. Jennifer also says, could Anjanette be a variation of Antoinette?
Yeah, I already answered that.
Okay.
It could be, and it could be Jeanette or, any of the names.
She also says, I love my spam call warning, but I never pick up anyway. if it's not in my phone book.
Yeah. For some reason, my husband and I have the same phone, and I can't find the feature on my phone, but his phone, once he got it, it starts for the people in his phone book, it like tells their name when they call. So he knows who's calling because his phone will say, whose ever name it is. And if he doesn't know the person, it'll be no name call, you know? So he
Yeah.
doesn't even have to go to his phone. I just change the ringers so I know who it is who's calling if it's important. But he gets the actual name. And like I said, I've looked all over my phone and it's an iPhone and we both have the same exact one, but I can't find that feature.
Welcome in, Lynette. How are you doing? And what are you working on? Laura Lee says, I haven't knit in years and had trouble with lace weight using expression fiber arts. Kind of I think she means neat pattern so I can practice yarn overs. That's a good way to do that. That's what I did with the expression fiber art pattern that I did, the red and black one. That was the lace weight one. Oh my gosh. I made so many mistakes in that, but you can't tell the difference because it's lace weight. So many yarn overs and everything. You can't tell all the mess ups. Bella Christina. Hi, Bella. Welcome in. How are you doing? And what are you working on? I can never pronounce the last part of uncinetto.
Yeah, I was just looking at that, trying to figure it out.
I can't say it the way she does, but she says Bella means beautiful in Italian, and her name is Christina. So I just call her Beautiful Christina, Bella Christina.
I have a niece. Her name is Bella.
Aww. Mary said she'll be right back. So, okay. Amanda says, I seldom talk on the phone. When I do, it's mostly my mom or my oldest son. I worked in call centers for 10 years when I was able to work, so kind of broke me from wanting to talk on the phone.
I can understand that. I tried to get a job in a call center once, and then I was like, you know what? I can't handle this.
I think I worked at one for a week or so, and it's where you call people, automated, and what you would ask them survey questions like a telemarketer, right. But not. And I'm just like, however long it was, I don't remember, like 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. And I could not stand that job. I was like, nope, I'm gone. I found something else.
Yeah, I couldn't do it either. Even back before cell phones. I mean, that's when I went when I was in high school, and it was the first. My friend was like, "Oh, do it! I make lots of money doing this," and I was just like, "No, I can't. I just feel like it's invading people's privacy, and I can't do it. Even with the surveys, I can't do it."
Yeah, and see, the company I worked for, they said you're not allowed to say how long the survey is. You can't say, oh, we have 10 questions or 20 or 50 more left. You just have to say, we'll be done shortly. Just hang in there. And that's all you could tell them.
Oh, I know. I had somebody do that to me once. And I was getting ready to walk out the door for a doctor's appointment. And I told them, I'm getting ready to walk out the door. Oh, it'll just take a minute. And literally, it was lucky if my husband was driving. I was still on the call. And then finally, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm almost to the doctor's office. I got to go. Oh, we're almost. And I hung up. I was like, oh, you're done.
Yeah. Or when they answer the phone and they hang up on you.
I mean, I try to be nice for surveys and answer them, because they are trying to find out information, especially if it's a medical survey, because I feel those are important. But anymore, I'm just like, my time is more important. I've got other things to do. I'm either got to sleep to take care of my health, or I need to crochet so that I can try and help make some money for my family. So just leave me alone.
Yeah. Let's see. Jennifer says, I'm knitting a small nautical flag for my window display as part of a local community project. That's
That
nice.
sounds awesome. I would love to see that when you're done.
Robin says, mine tells the name. It will even say possibly Sue Smith.
Actually, I would love to see that flag so much. My email is AJ's personal touch, like it's written there, at gmail.com. If you could send me a picture, I would be extremely thankful. My dad was in the Navy and he loves anything nautical. Um, so I'm hoping this year will be my year that I can actually find time to make him something, because anything I find nautical is going to take me a little bit longer than what I normally make for my mom or anybody else, a lot longer than a hat or whatever. And I normally use that time for my daughter's gifts. Like I made her a tapestry wall hanging, my very first one, this year. So I want to make something nice for him next year. So I've been looking for the right nautical themed item to make him.
Winnet says, I was giving bags of yarn from a customer whose wife passed away. I'm winding tangled yarn into cakes, and some of this I know I will never use. Hey, but at least you have some extra.
Yeah.
And you could always, my grandmother was saying in the background, you could always make a blanket out of it. Granny squares.
A friend of mine just got a big haul like that, unfortunately, from somebody who passed. And she just started crocheting again. And she was like, oh, it was like $50. And she got, I don't know, maybe 500 skeins of yarn, if not more. And she
Wow.
got like 100 books. And she was like, I'm going to send you some yarn. And then the other, she was like, well, you're going to have to help with postage. And she said, I've got the first box ready to go. And then she said, oh, I got another one ready to go now. And maybe a third if you want some already used and a little bit, you know, fading and, a little irregular. And I told her, I said, okay, I'll take the first 2 boxes, but I have enough of my own yarn that's little balls and already used and stuff. I don't need anybody
Yeah.
else's. But I told her, I said, take it to the school, see if they can use it. And she was like, oh, my school won't take anything like that. And I said, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of schools that use yarn in projects and things. Teachers are paying for that out of their pocket. I'm sure they would love to get, yarn, because they only use little snippets here and there. If they get some that they need to cut some out, it would be no big thing. I said,
Yeah.
or a community center, or something.
That's true. We have a senior center here where they don't actually live there, but they go there during the day. A bus will pick them up from their homes, and they'll have lunch, and some people will do puzzles, some will do crocheting, and some will work on quilts. And it's so, yeah, that might be a perfect place to take it. Oh, my grandmother's given them fabric before. Bella Christina says, I'm well, writing a paper. You did pretty good with the pronunciation. Well, thank you. Mary texts more than she talks. Amanda says, nope, I was tech support and customer service. They called me for help. I didn't make calls.
I'll be doing a video. I will have to add you, Dinky Crafts, to my subscription. Add your channel.
Do any of them quilt? Do any of them knit? Do any of them tack?
I know Lorley knits. She's already picked up, cast it on a shawl.
There you go.
Melanie also knits. She just finished some socks. Or did you finish them, or are you still working on them?
God love her.
She says, God love you.
Wow, Melanie. Melanie says, my mom's had the same phone number since 1967.
Whoa.
I could have almost said that about my parents, except for they changed theirs because they had to when they got a mobile phone. Well, actually, they moved to a different state and they had to change it then. Otherwise, they would have had the same one still. I used to be able to remember my phone number from when I was younger, but I can't remember it anymore.
Thank you, Mary, for dropping Jennifer's link. Now, once the live is over, you can come back. If you can't remember her name, her link's right there, AJ.
Yeah, unfortunately, you always can't see the chat.
You know what? I can.
I
I'll write
have
and send it to you, or you can.
I have this cool thing
pull it
on
up.
my phone now. They have where you can put I don't know if you can see it. It's not going to show for me. It's a like a Post-it note, and it puts it right on your
on the top of everything.
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think I kind of knew what you meant.
It puts it right on the, where your desktop like, except for it's your phone.
Yeah. Jennifer's going to be doing a video of her finished project soon. That's always good. Laura says, most of the women in my family knit and crochet. My dad said, why can't I get a sweater if y'all are so handy? Wynette says, Crystal, some of this is like sequined strains or tiny decorative ribbon stuff. I would gladly donate this stuff. Well, I mean, you could donate it to somebody, or if you ever wanted me to, I can put it in a giveaway, and you can send it to me, and I'll put it in a giveaway or something. That's just an idea. I'm not saying send it to me. I don't want it, but I'm just saying if you send it to me, I could put it in giveaways. That's an idea. Or you can do a giveaway but you don't have a channel, I don't think. My last video shows part of my projects about halfway. Amanda says, I've had the same cell number for about 12 years. That's pretty cool. You've had yours for 20, right?
What?
Your phone number. Over 20 years, my grandmother has had the same phone number.
I just accidentally erased everything I had on here.
Oh, no.
It's okay. It's mostly stuff that I did already.
Melanie, you finished your socks? Awesome. Send me a picture of your finished socks. Or wait, was that the one you already sent? Love to do is the sweet tomatoes heel. I have never heard of that, but I'm not very familiar with different ways to do the heels. Lisa the Grammy says hi and hugs. Okay, she's answering. I guess she came into the chat.
I have a question, if you wouldn't mind me asking another one.
Go ahead.
What is the project that you want to do that you keep putting off because you think that you can't do it? For me, it's crocheting socks. I actually tried to crochet socks once and it didn't quite work out. And now I'm like bound and determined. I'm going to get a pair of socks crocheted as soon as I get all of my whips that have to be done.
Well, for me, it would have been my knitted shawl. I had tried 3 different times before I actually knitted that lace weight shawl. And I ripped it out, started over, ripped it out, started over. And the third time I was like, That's it. I threw the ball of yarn I was using at my grandmother, not literally, but I said, here, take this yarn because I don't want it. I can't work with it. I can't do this pattern. And then I finally got to a point, I was like, no, I don't ever give up. So I tried it again and tried to use, like slow myself down and not do it so fast because it was my very first ever knitted shawl. And I said, I'm not going to let this beat me. And I eventually did finish it. So the project that I have never tried, and I eventually did do it. So that would be my answer for it. I'm going to write that down, Melanie. Sweet tomato heel.
That sounds so pretty, Lisa. And welcome. I didn't see you come in because I was writing something down on my phone. Lisa, the Grammy Scattered, says, I just finished making a calming comfort Afghan from all leftover blue yarns.
Melanie loves how I say Mimo or Mama. I try to say Mama because she hates when I say Mama. She goes, it sounds so hillbilly. That is
And
true.
Tap Mama says, I've had the same cell number for about 12 years. I'm the same. I've had the same number for as long as I've had a cell phone. So.
Hi, Dark 30 Outdoors. I can't remember your name, but welcome in. Whoa, the chat just jumped on me. Lisa says, I just finished making calming. Oh, yeah, you read that comment.
Sorry.
And for those of you that don't know, Patricia Walker right here is my grandmother. So she's in the chat. And everybody's saying hi to her. Hi, Grandma. Hi, Mama. Yes, she is, Mary. I believe she is. Just send her an email. And if you want to donate something, let her know it's for her birthday bash. And also the plus on that, if you donate something, you get an entry into her giveaway for the 2-month when you do the perk giveaway or whatever she's calling it. I can't remember what she called it. Perk to donating or something like that. So if you donate something, Mary, you'll also get an entry to her drawing that's going to take place, I think, April 1st.
Have a good dinner, Wynette.
Bye, Wynette. Thanks for coming in. I hope you have a great weekend. Cat. Oh, is that the person's name that does the sweet tomato heel? Cat Bourdai or... Hi, Queen Mama. What is your name? I keep seeing you comment, and I don't know your name. Let me know your name.
Which one did you say is your grandma?
Patricia Walker.
Okay. I'm trying to learn everybody some people have actually joined my channel, which thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it so much. Right now, what I'm trying to do is hit where I can have a community tab, because I think that was one of the worst things they did is when they took those off of everybody, because it used to be a chat tab and then they renamed it the community tab and you had to earn it. I think that was just one of the worst things, because people need a community tab.
Mm-hmm.
And that reminds me of something. And I think it was the live of yours that I watched. Somebody asked, I don't have a channel. Why are people subscribing to me?
Yeah.
And you said some people just automatically subscribe back. Well, that's
Mm-hmm.
right. When anybody subscribes to my channel, I always subscribe back to them automatically. And even if they don't have a channel, because I know of people who don't have a channel who never plan on having a channel, but they want the community tab. So they've been asking people to please subscribe to them so that they can earn the community tab. So
I do have a subscriber that wants a community tab. Her name is Vicky Rains, and Mary, if you wouldn't mind dropping her link too, please. She wants to get a community tab. I think she will eventually start making content, but she's not going to right now. But eventually, I think she is at some point.
but they don't realize how important that community tab especially if they want us to use YouTube for more than just, well, for anything. They keep talking in different things about, we want to improve this or improve that. Well, make the community tab available to everybody. It's just something that people need. Small channels, especially when they're trying to build, if we had a community tab, it could help a lot.
Yeah, that is true. Vicky, I was just talking about you, and I did not see you comment, and there you are.
I noticed
my
that.
cat was up where I had last stopped, and we were talking about the community tab, and then the chat jumped, and there you are. It's like you knew we were talking about you. Your ears must have been burning.
And greetings, Connie.
Oh, which Connie? I know there's two that come to my life.
She said greetings, earthlings. That should tell you.
Okay, I am really behind. Goodness. Okay, let me skim over the comments up here real quick. Hi, Connie. Welcome in. Anita, Queen Mama is Anita. I got you down, and hopefully I can remember. Amanda said JJ just put our dinner in the oven. Lisa, the Grammy, is going to eat. I don't know who she's emailing the pictures of the Afghan to, but either me or you. Okay.
Well, Lisa is one of my subscribers as well. So
she is awesome.
Yes, she is.
And the heel is Cat. She passed away. Oh.
You are a little behind.
I'll still look it up. CATBORDHI. I got it wrote down. Thank you, Melanie. Jennifer says, my last flag is finished and now I have all the ends to sew in, and then maybe I'll do a video on Sunday after I have placed them on ribbon. Maybe I'll send AJ an email first. I think she would like that.
Okay, cool. Yes, I would like that. Let me see. I need to add Vicky Rains to my list.
Baked chicken and mashed potatoes is what Amanda is having for dinner. Yum, yum.
Make sure I got this spelled right.
My grandmother goes, I like the sock making, but the heel flap and heel turn are insane. And I want to invent something easier. I will try this tomato thing and let you know. Thank you, Mary, for dropping Vicky's channel.
And who else did I see? Somebody else said they were working.
Do what?
Somebody else said they were working towards a community link too.
Vicky Rains or somebody else besides Vicky?
The Bella.
Oh yeah, I was actually just fixing to read that comment. That's funny. We both tried to say it at the same time. All right. I will try to put you on my community tab, Bella Christina. I always got to look at your channel name to spell it. I can
Okay.
spell the Bella part. It's the uncinetto.
Oop, and I spelled it wrong. I thought I had it right. UNCINETTO. I should have known that because I realized it was ETT like mine.
I explained myself. The other text ran together. It didn't sound right. Kivia said, "Left something at your house, Vicky." I think she means she subscribed to you. Sometimes we say threw yarn in your window.
Well, that reminds me, Nadine's not here. She was going to try to be here. She had to explain to me what that was. She was like, so-and-so said when I first got my channel that they threw yarn in your window, and so did this person, and so did that person. I was talking up your channel, and I was like, huh? Throwing yarn in my window? What do you, you know? And she had to explain to me what that meant. And I was like, oh, okay. I got it now.
Vicky,
Even
you
though I've
don't
been
have
on
to
channel
get a
for a while,
camera.
I didn't know the lingo.
Yeah. I didn't know what it meant at first until I realized somebody told me. So, Vicky, just you know, when I film, I use my phone camera. You could get like a GoPro or something like that if you want to, but it's technically not necessary unless it's something that you want to do.
Yeah, I use the camera on my laptop. Actually, I started with my cell phone camera and it wasn't that good. I could probably go back to it now because I didn't realize I had to have my battery replaced in this one, and it was a well-known issue, so iPhone did it for free. And they noticed I didn't have a protector on my phone, so the person put a screen protector on it, but did a very bad job. And it was
Oh,
starting to lift in places, and like when I played my games and things, I couldn't play them because I couldn't get it to press and for things
yeah.
to work. And one of the things I noticed is where it was lifting was over the camera. And I finally put two and two together that my filming was so bad because stuff was getting in underneath there and it was distorting the view from the
Yeah.
camera. But the front facing one on this one isn't as well as the back facing anyway. So I just prefer now because it's easier for me to sit back and that to use my laptop. And it actually, when I'm filming it, it looks a little grainy, but when I watch it, it's clear. So
Yeah. I know I have the web camera that I use. I know I have an app. It's a Nulaxi web camera, and it just plugs in USB. But there is a app on here where I can record, but I don't know where I go to get the recorded video. That's
well,
the
see,
thing.
mine is like that. I can never find it. But if you use the camera, here's a little trick that I do. It has down when you stop it down in the corner, you can see the picture of the video that you just did. Click on that and it opens another page. And then up at the top, it's got those three dots. Click on the three dots and it says open in file.
Okay.
And it will take you to that file. And then what I do is I hurry up and you have to close the main app then in order to rename it or to move it. I rename it and I hurry up and I move it into my file where I know where to find it.
Okay.
Because even when I look at the little things where it says where it's at, when you can follow, the files, I can never re-find it. I can never find the original one that it says it is. It says desktop and then it says camera roll. And I'm like, where's the camera roll on my computer? I can't find it.
Yeah.
And I have searched for that thing. So I finally found out how to do that. And I'm like, okay.
I want to welcome in Trudy. And come on. There we go. Let's scan and see if anybody else came in. Gloria, welcome in. I'm behind again. Really behind.
I understand
welcome
that,
in.
Mary. Mary says, I've never even tried to edit my video. What you see is what you get. That's basically how mine are. If you watch mine, most of them are unedited. And if I do any editing at all, it's if I realized I said something wrong. I finally learned how to put the words on. And every once in a while, another thing I like with doing it on the laptop is I can pause it and come back to it. I can't do that on my phone. And I have learned how to splice it on my phone, but I learned how to splice it on the computer as well now. And I actually found a free program that I can use. Someday I want to do all the hoots and whistles. And I actually asked one of my all-time favorite YouTuber, she's so sweet and down to earth, is No Catchy Name. And Ella. I just love Ella. And I just sent her an email one day and I was like, what do you use to edit your, videos with? And she wrote me back and she's just the sweetest. So, and her baby that she just had is so cute.
Aww.
So cute.
Yeah, if I try to edit anything out of a video, I end up deleting the wrong thing. I'll try to take this section out and I delete everything over here and I keep the part I wanted out. So I just say if I mess up too much, I just re-record the video, but it's usually not as good the next time around. But
right. That's what I do. And that's my latest one that I just did with my opening my knit crate. I was like, oh no, I think I showed the code, because now they give you a code that only subscribers get so that you can sign into certain areas and see the new yarn and everything on Knit Crate, where everybody used to be able to do that. Now it's just for who subscribed can see it when it first comes out. And there's a special code, and plus we get a discount code, that we can use for further discount during the month. And that's it. And I was like, oh no, I forgot to cover it like we're supposed to. But it was down far enough that it didn't show. I was like, whoo, I didn't feel like redoing that whole thing, because it was the one that I was doing when I said I got a video this, do a video first before we can talk last night.
Yeah. And Lisa said she's going to send the email to me. So, okay. I will be on the lookout for that, Lisa.
Is Lisa the one with the tomato thing on the sock?
No, that was Melanie.
Can Melanie send you or me?
I got it wrote down who did it. She told me who did it and what it's called, and I'll look it up.
Well, God bless her heart.
Oh, Melanie, Mama says, God bless your heart for telling us about the sweet tomato heel.
Because I swore off ever to do it again.
And she swore off to ever do a knitted sock again.
Because I ordered about 40 things of yarn.
She did. She ordered a lot of sock yarn.
I was going to make everybody sock.
I will have to try to remember to write down the heel. I don't knit, but I watch the Cozy Cottage, I think is it. And her name is Hannah. And she knits and crochets, and she's also a designer. And she was talking about this heel that she just found that is like the best hill. She's like, I used to think this one was, and now I tried this one, and it's just amazing. And I'll have to remember to write that down the next time I hear her say what it is, and let you guys know. Give you
Mary
another one to
asked,
try out.
yeah. Mary asked Bella Christina, is uncinetto Italian for anything, Christina? I know Bella is beautiful. Bella says it is Italian for crochet, Mary. So technically, her channel is called Beautiful Crochet. I think that is awesome. I didn't know that. I mean, I don't know if you've ever mentioned it on your channel, but that is cool. Amanda says, one of these days I'd love to have a GoPro.
Yeah.
I have a little bitty drone that can film, but it dies not even 10 minutes later.
I heard with the GoPro, you either love it or you hate it. So if you're a techie person, you tend to love it. So I just don't know if I have the energy for that right now.
I did check files, downloads, and even photos, and I still never found it, Mary. That's why I said I looked and I couldn't find where it saved it. But I with her suggesting that, I might be able to figure out where it goes to, and then maybe I can put the file on like a what am I trying to think of? A shortcut on the desktop.
Well, I didn't think of doing that. You're so smart. I didn't even think of doing that.
I put everything on the desktop so I can find it, but it's all in folders, like say a folder on the desktop, and it has multiple folders inside, but then a folder next to it is for all my crochet patterns, and then folders inside for draft and PDF, and then pictures, and so it's all sorted out nice and neat. But
yeah, I did. I searched everywhere too, and I was like, I know it's there. I filmed it. And I actually had 3 of them in there when I couldn't, and then finally I was like, I'm going to punch this picture and see, what happens. And yeah, it took me into the one place, which then I found a way to get into the file. So I was like, okay, I knew there had to be a way to get in there. They wouldn't give you a camera to use on the computer if you couldn't find what the pictures you take I even tried taking pictures to see if I could find the pictures and then find the videos. So yeah.
Amanda says, yep, that's how mine are. If I mess up, I just delete and do it again. I don't mind if there's 1 or 2 little mess ups, because that shows I'm human. But if I mess up so much and stumble so much or say the wrong thing or just kind of whatever, I'll just delete it and start over. So, and Mary does the same thing. Melanie says, you're welcome. You'll love it. I'm talking to my grandmother. Oh boy, you got sock yarn. Ooh. No, Vicky, you could use any kind of weight of yarn, but if, like socks are kind of thin, but I'm sure you could use a 1 or 2 weight and still use the same needles, but the stitch count might need to be adjusted a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they do have patterns for chunkier yarn.
Yeah, that's
too,
true.
especially with crochet. And I'm sure they do. I know I've seen knitted ones too. But the thing that I've been told that you have to remember, and I didn't even think of, is you want to make sure that it's a yarn that will wear well. So your heels and your toes don't wear out quickly.
And we have Lori from Cloudy Nook Crochet. Welcome in. How are you and what are you working on? Here we go with biscuits again.
That's I was reading.
My
I was
grandmother
going,
makes
okay.
these big, huge biscuits. And one of my other subscribers, well, actually, a few of them call them cat head biscuits because they're so big. And the biscuit is Connie's husband, Frank, and she just said to Connie, "Hello, Connie, just made hot biscuits. Want one?" Patricia, you cooked the biscuit? I mean, uh,
Tap Mama, that sounds cool. Put a camera on one of your dogs and let them run around and see what they see.
yeah, that'd be neat.
I think Crystal from Bag O' Day just did that in one of her vlog on her vlog channel
Oh,
right
that's
after
cool.
they had moved into their new house and they let their dog go
Mm-hmm.
running. I think they put the camera on him and showed his view. It was kind of
Oh, that's,
cool.
yeah.
But I couldn't even tell you which one it was. She has so many vlog videos
Yeah.
now. I got so behind I can't catch up.
Connie says, I know Marley Bird had a tutorial for slipper socks using a number 4 weight yarn. It depends on what the pattern calls for, but with knitting, it is typically a 1 weighted yarn.
Well, I know with crochet too, then they have socks with a really tiny, because I got sock yarn to make socks with, and that's why I gave up because I was using the little teeny tiny crochet hook. And I
Yeah.
just, and at the time I was working and I was so busy and I just did not have time. My toe was looking fine. And then all of a sudden something went wrong. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I frogged it. I kept the yarn and I keep looking at the yarn all the time. And I'm going, I'm going to do it. I will do it.
Yeah. I remember one time making a crocheted shawl, and I actually just gifted it recently to Stephanie of Life and Stitches in the Traveling Box of Joy. But the shawl that I gave her, it took me like 3 weeks to crochet with a 1 weight yarn. And usually I can do a shawl in anywhere from 4 to 6 days, sometimes 7, 8, depending on how intricate the pattern is. That 1 weighted yarn shawl, I said, I'm never crocheting a shawl that with that small of a yarn again. I would knit another 1 weight shawl, but I'm never crocheting another one. That hurt my hands so bad. They're still talking about biscuits.
Yeah, I see that. I saw gravy and then no wonder Frank is so red.
And Lori is trying to focus on getting some whips done. Patricia, are you sure you didn't put them in the oven? I finally got caught up with the chat. Woohoo! Oh. I've forgotten whose turn it was to ask a question, but
I've asked a couple, so it's yours.
okay. What is your theme song?
Oh, goodness.
Vicky, I actually have. I used to not like Shawl on a Ball very much, but the one time I did use it, it was to create a one of my patterns. I can't even on the V side shawl, I believe it is. It's worked with Shawl in a Ball, but it's one of those you can kind of like or you really hate. Go ahead, Nancy.
I've got 2 cakes of that and I haven't been able to get myself to use it yet.
It's very hard to frog. I've noticed that.
You know, I don't. I guess dating me, if I had to pick one for me, especially with how my life is gone, I am Woman Hear Me Roar. And I don't even know if that's the name of it, but I just watched her life story not too long ago. And I've, ever since I was a little girl, I mean, I used to go around just screaming that, well, not screaming it, but just belting that out every time I'd hear it on the radio. So, like I said, dating myself, but although when I heard it on the radio, it was like years after it had been put out. But I don't know. I relate to music so much. I've never thought of a theme song for myself, but I can actually remember things even to when I was like 4 years old. When I hear certain songs, it takes me back to where I was when I like first heard it, or a
Yeah.
special memory, you know. So like my husband and I used to be a pretty decent singer until I've had so many surgeries and been intubated so many times. I would always sing Olivia Newton-John is my absolute favorite singer, and I used to sing I Honestly Love You to him all the time.
Aw.
And then I'm not thinking of the other one. There was a different one that was supposed to be our wedding song, and he wanted it specifically. It'll come to me later. I know it will. But then I heard he listens to country a lot, and I got into listening to country more. And the song "Keeper of the Stars" came out like literally months before our wedding, and I said, "No, that's our wedding song because it like describes us to a T of how our relationship was." So, for anybody who's ever heard it, that's like my husband's and that's our song. And every time we hear it, you know, even my daughter knows. She's like, "Oh, that's your song." It's just sweet.
I can't help but notice these two comments from Vicky. She accidentally put in caps, I got gifted 2 balls. Do you put them together? Of 2 balls and a shawl. And then she goes, sorry, didn't mean to put on caps. So I keep sitting here envisioning in my mind her screaming, do I put them together? But you could, Vicky. It might be easier to work with, but it might be harder to tear out. What I would suggest, use 1 shawl and a ball with 1 regular strand of yarn, kind of like Red Heart or something, and then maybe it won't be such a pain to tear out, because those little fuzzies that are around, they do catch. It's not too bad of a yarn, but that's my suggestion. I would not use 2 of them together. I mean, you could try it, but it would make it thicker, of course. But it might be very, very hard to frog if you have to frog it. Okay. I kept seeing that. Do I put them
together? And I'm going, I didn't see that. Where did it go? And I just realized I always look and make sure that I have live chat on my but I didn't. I had top chat on, and I'm like going,
oh,
why can't I see what she's talking about? And I was like, oops. I'm on my phone. It's not set to live chat all the time.
Let's see. My answer would be, and I had to look up the name of this song before I went live to answer my own question because I couldn't remember the name of it. I could hear the music playing in my head, and I knew the group, but I couldn't remember the name. But it's Panic at the Disco, High Hopes. I was listening to that song earlier. Was it today? I listened to it today and then once yesterday. And that is such a song you can't sit still to. It's just it's got a beat, and I guess I would pick that one, or my favorite band, Breaking Benjamin. It'd have to be one of their many songs.
Now, there's another song that we called my theme song when I was so sick and we weren't sure if I was going to make it, and that was Angels Among Us. So another country song, and that one was just, I got to the point whenever I'd hear it I would just cry, because I was just, looking for my own angel at the time and hoping that I'd still be here the next year, and things worked, because my doctor told me I wouldn't make it to 24, and I just turned 52. So,
well, what did they know, huh?
yeah. Well, actually, my ex-boyfriend, he died at 24. So I'm like, okay,
oh wow,
you got the wrong one of us.
Connie is still working on her bod shawl, and she's doing the High Expectations. It's a very simple pattern, and she's using a 4-weight yarn, I think, or is it 3-weight, Connie?
I have never made a shawl yet. So I'm like, okay, my first one's going to be the bridal shawl. That'll be fun.
Connie says her theme song is This Is My Fight Song. And Mary says Fighter by Christina Aguilera. And Amanda is back. And that was a few minutes ago. So about 5 minutes ago. So welcome back, Amanda.
Welcome back. Live Like You Were Dying. Bella, that is another good one by Tim McGraw. It's another one that makes me think and wonder what would have happened if I wouldn't have made it till now. And that's what my husband and I try to do every day, is to live like we're dying. Although we don't get to go do all the fun stuff because we can't afford it.
Yeah. My fun is sitting with Tom and Oreo. Well, not Oreo so much, because she goes and visits with my mom and my brother a lot. But I sit outside with Tom sometimes, and he keeps me company.
Yeah, my fun is Kahlua and Halford. I was kind of hoping Halford would make his presence known, but as I was telling you before we came on, I had went into my bedroom earlier, and when I changed, he's like on top of my pajamas, and that's his favorite thing to do, is for his favorite people, especially pajamas or whatever they sleep in, is to just lay on top of them and just get all bunched up in them and then go to sleep.
Aw.
He's dead to the world right now.
Amanda said, hey, AJ, have you heard any music by Colter, Colter Wall?
If he is country, more than likely, yes. I'm not good with names. And I don't listen to the radio anymore unless we're on our way to my doctor's appointments down in Indianapolis, which is 4 hours away. So then I get a whole morning and then a whole afternoon of nothing but country. So if he's a country artist, I'm sure that I have.
It might even be jazz or blues, because I know she listens to that kind of stuff, but I'm not sure at all, really. Lisa the Grammy said, which song? I don't know. Were you meaning the one that I said or the one she said? And Vicky also got gifted knitting needles, intend to learn this year. And she says, anything by Journey. Journey.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes.
It was a 3-weight yarn. I thought so. I used a 4-weight yarn on my Bodshaw. I did it first, and then now she's doing it, and she loved how it turned out. So she's like, I think I'm gonna eventually do that one too. So she's using a 3-weight. I used a 4-weight on mine though. That's why I thought she was using a 3-weight.
Is anybody else going to do her first ever crochet along that starts
I'm
March
gonna
1st?
try. I have so much scrap yarn. I'm gonna use my scrap yarn.
Yeah, I'm going to use yarn that I have too. I'm not buying the Sesame Street characters, but
I'd love to buy those little Sesame Street, but I ain't got the funds to do that right now.
I
So.
don't either. And I'm supposed to be making a baby blanket for my goddaughter's son, and she already picked out the yarn, and it's a variegated yarn. So I'm not even going to be changing colors. It's going to be one color all the way through. So whatever she does, it's going to be the same variegated yarn. But it's one of those that Hobby Lobby has where they take like 4 different strands of color and put them together. And so you can have one ball that looks completely different, but it has the same name because it all depends on how those strands are wrapped together. So it will have variations throughout the whole thing. So it should look neat.
Okay, Lisa, it was High Hopes. Is the song. That song I cannot sit still to. I'll just sit there and bounce, just listen to it, just kind of. Melanie says, I tried to fold clothes today. Our lab says, lays right on top of them.
I've started listening to music again when I do housework because it helps me get things done. So I turn on the country station then too, because that's what it's set to. Sometimes I'll turn on the pop radio or the oldies station, and my husband comes home, you changed the channel. I'm like, yeah, you weren't here. I'm allowed to change channel. It's not like you're driving when you have full reign of the radio.
Let's see. Amanda says his music is like old school country and western style music. My oldest son introduced me to his music and I'm hooked. Lisa's song is I Go Insane by Lindsey Buckingham.
I've heard that one. I will have to look into him, Tut Mama.
Do you want me to see what it's COLTER and then it's WAL?
Yeah, I'm going back to look for it.
Melanie says, I love Humble and Kind by Tim McGraw. I love Contemporary Christian, Casting Crowns, Toby Mac, and for King and Country. Let me see. Well, I had just mentioned my favorite band is Breaking Benjamin, but they're kind of like rock, kind of on the verge of heavy metal, death metal type, but they're not classified as death metal. I can't stand that, and that's what my brother listens to. They're just kind of a little bit of a hard rock, but I love anything from 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s genre, anywhere in there. Pop, hip hop, rock. Not too much rap. The only rap I listen to is Eminem, if I did listen to it.
You sound a lot like my daughter.
What year was she born?
She was born in 97.
Oh, well, I'm about 11 years older than her, so.
Yeah, I knew that. She just turned 24. Or yeah,
Yeah.
she's not just turned. She's going to be 25 this year. So
Yeah.
last year she turned 24.
She is the same age as my brother.
All right, cool. Yep. We're not looking forward to when she hits 26 and has to find her own insurance, but she's got a decent job, so.
Hi, Jason. Welcome in. How are you doing?
I was going to say, is that your brother? But probably not.
No, he's just a longtime friend that I've known for almost 18 years, I think.
Wow. Well, hi. So I'm
Vicky was
assuming
raised on country and western.
Tat Mama, that you have your own page, or your not your own page. I always call it a page on here. Your own channel.
Yeah, she does. Same
I will have to look
spelling.
you up as well.
Jason says if we're talking country, it's all about Alan Jackson and Garth.
Oh, and
Now that's
Alabama.
the kind of country I can listen to. The 90s country, I can tolerate that, but today's country, no thank you.
Well, see, that's still my favorite, and I go back and listen to it. And Alabama. I was so sad when they broke up and stopped doing tours. And for all the times Garth has been here, I never did get to see him. I'm so sad.
Vicky says, I love Don Williams. I believe in you. And Jason says, got to keep the Eminem going. Now, more or less, it's Breaking Benjamin. I don't listen to Eminem as much. Anytime I listen to music, it's Breaking Benjamin. I just recently found their YouTube channel and they have playlists and I got those running sometimes. Their newest album, Ember and Dark Before Dawn.
Now, if you would have asked my grandpa before he passed away, he would tell you that my song would have been Most Beautiful Girl in the World, because he used to sing it to me all the time. And
Aww.
that, I believe, was Charlie Rich. So, yeah. And that's going back old school country.
Yeah, I know my grandfather liked old country western. But me and him, when I would go stay at his house or we'd have to go somewhere, go riding in anywhere in the vehicle, we would put ABBA or Beach Boys or Roy Orbison. Me and my grandmother now will listen to Roy Orbison together.
Uh-huh.
And Buddy Holly. Me and my grandfather would listen to Buddy Holly. And there's a couple and more that I'm forgetting, but I can't remember. But yeah.
Roy Orbison. That my mom and dad's song is Pretty Woman.
Yes. Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, Barry Manilow. Oh, Melanie. Woman after my heart. I also love Barry Manilow, and I could sing probably almost every song that he ever put out before the end of the 90s. And I've actually seen him in concert twice. So when I went to college, I had a poster of him that I put up, and I used to get teased all the time. And one of the guys, he was a football player, he'd walk in and he said, "Oh, barely man enough on your wall." And I'll never forget that. And I used to get so mad at him, but I'd have to laugh. But I love Barry Manilow.
Yeah.
That's what I said. When it comes to me and music, all genres. I can do all genres, but when it comes to rap, I like Eminem too. I'm not into everything else. Although I have heard recently a couple things that I'm like, okay, I might be able to handle that. But, and the complete death rock, like, or you can't understand, or screamo, not death rock,
No.
screamo. My daughter used to listen to screamo, and I'd be like, what are they even saying? And she's, I don't know, but it's popular right now. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
No. That's what my brother listens to, and I'm like, if I have to hear that for 30 more seconds, I'm gonna start throwing that phone against the wall.
She got out of that phase. I was very
Yeah.
happy when she did. Because in our family, whoever's driving, is in charge of the radio. So whenever I would have to, when she'd take me to doctor's appointments or whatever, sometimes she didn't care and she would just make me listen to what she was listening to. And other times she was like, okay, let's put it here because we can both handle this,
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd have to go into a doctor's appointment after listening to screamo. And you talk about blood pressure being up a little bit from what it was.
Yeah. Melanie says, I love Don Williams, Metallica. That's another good band. Barry Manilow. I love music. No death metal either. Yes, Alabama and Shenandoah. And she loves Eminem. Vicky likes Willie Nelson. And Amanda says, I grew up with the old school country, Willie Nelson, Marty Robbins, Charlie Daniels, Loretta Lynn, etc.
Yep. Tammy Wynette.
Knew what? She said Don Williams. Well, somebody else said Don Williams.
Melanie, Daddy loved Roy Orbison. He would take us to school. We put Barbara Mandrell. Barbara Mandrell. Yes. And the Mandrell sisters. And I used to watch the variety show every week. And then that takes me back to Donnie and Marie Osmond.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of relates back to my youth because my brother's name is Donnie.
Aww.
Actually, Don Jr. And with my middle name being Marie, we used to get teased. People would call us Donnie and Marie all the time. And he hated it. Absolutely hated it. Which that's kind of funny because I'd said earlier my maiden name was Cornelis and it starts with a C. Mm-hmm. I was going into biology class one day and my biology teacher thought he would be funny because of AC being my initials. He's like, hey, Angela, how's ACDC doing today? And I was like, well, I'm fine. I don't know how my brother is. And he just looked at me and I was like, oh, you meant the band. Okay. Back in Black. Got it. He thought he was being funny. And I'm like, well, DC's my dad and my brother. So which one do you want to know about?
Well, we have been on here for an hour and 43 minutes.
Wow, it doesn't seem that long.
Yeah. Yeah, no. But I think I'm going to go ahead and we'll wrap it up here. I've got to get up and move around. And yeah. So I just want to say thank you, everyone, for coming and chatting with us. And if you hadn't gone and checked out our channel, make sure you watch a video first, then hit the thumbs up, then press the subscribe button. Even though I know people's already sat there and subscribed, for it to stick, you need to watch a video, then like, then subscribe to make sure YouTube don't take them away. Yeah.
That must be why I had one person they kept dropping from me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Lisa. And
yeah,
she made comments and everything, but so she must have watched it, but she must not have done it in the right sequence because they
not
dropped
all the times
they dropped her and everything, and we couldn't figure it out why they did it. So
yeah. not all the times will YouTube take them, but when you join someone's channel from a live like this by clicking on a link, most of the time they're going to drop off like that. So people, you know, they don't understand or maybe don't remember that, go back and watch a video and they forget. And then eventually they'll get taken off. But it's, anyway, and thank you, AJ, for coming live with me. I had a bunch of fun.
You for
You're
letting
very
me be here. And it's so great meeting all of you. And this has been so much fun. I'll have to come back and do it with you again sometime.
Yes, you are more than welcome.
And maybe sometime when my channel gets over a little bit more than it is, you can come and do a live with me.
I would love to. Lisa says, no, YouTube has dropped me in the middle of a live that I've been subscribed to forever. Oh, wow. YouTube is just crazy, I tell you.
Yeah, it is.
All right, everyone. I hope everyone has a great weekend and stay safe. Take care. Have a great night. Bye, everyone.
Bye.